Hello Gemini, thank you for joining me. Welcome to Ruby Reads Tarot. I am Ruby and welcome to the month of May. Right off the bat, Gemini, Knight of Cups. Who is coming to you with a cup of love? Gemini, Venus, the big one. Venus is in your sign. It is heading into retrograde on the 13th of May. Is this, it's not tricky, Gemini. It's just Venus wants you to do things properly. Taking the mask off, finally. Accepting the cup of love, finally. Fortune changing in love, finally. Listen, I want you to look back to, 2018? October, November 2018. I want you to think back then. What was going on then? Something that may have started then moves forward quite nicely. If not, I think this Venus retrograde is going to be really good for you, Gemini. Because not only does it push stagnant ideas of love out of the window, it kind of forces you to stop and get really still and get really honest. Knight of Cups. This is new love on its way to you. This is someone bringing a cup of love to you. This is the invitation that you've been waiting for. Wheel of Fortune. And I think you may have felt a bit stuck or stagnant in a love situation. Things are about to change. And quite quickly, Gemini. Things are moving forward for you in a way that you wouldn't have necessarily expected. The thing here is, relationships are going to be tricky. What doesn't or what won't stand the test of time, I'm not going to take all of those, is not going to last. It's not going to stick around. The North Node is preparing to go into your sign also. So there's a real call for you, Gemini, to get both of those twins on the same hymn sheet. Four of Cups. An unfulfilling situation, or a situation that you might be in by yourself where you are feeling quite unfulfilled. How long will you sit there looking away from a situation that you know you have to change? Something within yourself that needs to be more accepting as to what is on offer to you, Gemini. If you continue to look away from your blessings, you might miss this Wheel of Fortune spinning in your direction. Knight of Pentacles, Ten of Pentacles. May has a lot to do with financial abundance for you, Gemini. There are opportunities making their way to you, and it could very nicely lead to a home setup, a home situation in which you may have needed to have a little bit more financial security. And you may have needed to see for yourself the goods that are on offer to you, as opposed to them just being spoken about. You know, like wishful thinking kind of thing. Something changes, Gemini. And I think a lot of that change might even need to happen within you. Maybe you might be this Knight of Cups that has something to offer. Either way, May for you, in terms of finances, in terms of a home relationship, in terms of you perhaps coming together with a water sign or an earth sign, or somebody with water and earth in their chart, it's fated and it has longevity to it. It's how you decide to play this now. Either you decide to keep on turning away from your true heart's desire, putting up a front, perhaps not being as honest as you should with yourself first and foremost. Don't put on a front, don't put on an act. If you want something, communicate it. Venus is really going to test your communication. The honesty needs to improve in relationships, especially if they're ones that are fated towards great things. May promises you financial abundance. It promises you an opportunity to get to look at your cup. Some healing needs to take place. Whatever it is at the moment is just not satisfying you. And I think you might need to really take what is precious to you if you are in fact looking for love. If you are in fact looking for something with longevity, I've got the Nine of Wands, Page of Wands, the Fool, the World, the Nine of Cups, the King of Pentacles. There you are, Queen of Swords. And who is this Queen of Pentacles? Let me line these cards up. I think you're ready, Gemini. You're ready to set off in a new direction. And I think it's about time that you gave up holding up a pretense in regards to a relationship that may have been really quite burdensome and problematic. You don't need to carry on with a facade of something that is just not working for you. Someone brings you another wand, there you go. 10 of Wands, end a cycle. It's time to move on. The Fool card. When you decide that your self-respect is more important to you than being offered something that is half-assed, something that is not what you truly want, something that you know is beneath you. It's just not that good. It's not that great. Come on. If it's problematic, if it's burdensome, it's not that great. Could be with a fire sign, could be with an earth sign, could be with an air sign. It's not important. Thing is important. You are given an opportunity to set off in a new direction. One that involves a lot of emotional contentment. Being very happy with yourself. Filling your own cups. Being in love with yourself. Nurturing and taking care of yourself. And actively seeking out where it is that you can move forward to now. There's an awful lot of royalty here. If this is a ménage à trois, lucky you. If not, I didn't say that. Look, earthy energy, Taurus season, get grounded. Mercury in Taurus. This is facts only. This is very practical, pragmatic conversation. This isn't flighty. It is quite grounded. And I know that can be a little bit boring for you sometimes, but whoever this air sign is, they come and they kind of do a number on you. They take you from being in this Knight of Wands, very open and receptive, but not quite sure where you're going, to a more purposeful, direct, grounded situation. The key here is you really need to take off the mask. You really need to be quite honest with how you feel. You really need to communicate and be very honest in your communications about what it is you want, Gemini. Who it is you want. And if you haven't met them yet, I wouldn't be surprised if you do meet someone who has something to offer you. And I think they're offering you a lot in regards to finances and a cup. They're offering you security. They want your heart. And they're here with their cup. You might not be able to ignore it anymore. If you wanted to spend some time taking care of your inner self just while the North Node plans to go into your sign, and just while there's kids playing outside, please ignore them screaming. You've got a lot going on at the moment. May is going to show you how there is a lot that you can do in terms of getting yourself whole again. Once you're whole again, things change up really quickly. The May's purpose, the whole purpose of this month, is to test you and see if you really know where your priorities are. And if you are aware of how much love you need to pour into your own cups right now, and how being self-sufficient and being someone who is okay with or without leads you very much with. I just think things are changing now, Gemini. What you knew about love, who you were in love, all of it just goes out the window. One thing is for sure though, Gemini, whatever has been problematic, burdensome, whatever your heart just hasn't been able to accept, it's time to move on from that now, because there are offers in terms of abundance, love and finances that come this month, because things are shifting. And I think you will really feel this shift, Gemini. Don't look away from a blessing, but drop the wands. Really, drop the burdens, because it's kind of it's been battering you and bruising you, and it's almost like you're confused. I feel like the confusion just might be too much right now. You know what you want, and it is something quite stable, and it is something quite secure. Unfortunately, a lot of that isn't going to come until you decide to take the leap and move forward in a direction of self-contentment. There's a new journey, which means your world needs to change up. Everything that you need is going to be on the way. If you are in a relationship, it looks as if somebody's taken your heart, given you everything that you could have ever possibly wanted and needed, and turned you from being quite cold into being someone who's quite receptive. This is really good potential for real love here. I want you to just take it for what it is. You've got to really drop a lot of what hasn't been suiting you, a lot of what hasn't been serving you. You've got to drop it. Because the minute you decide to drop it, things change up. And if your heart's been rejecting something, you've got to be very honest and open in communicating that. If it's not what you want, it's not what you want. And it doesn't matter how it takes on a different facade or a different face. If it's not what you want, it's not what you want. There's no need for guilt. There's no need for shame. There's no need for any of that. What there is a need for is for you to accept that you don't need to be cold. You don't need to be cutting. You don't need to be aloof. You do need to be assertive. Because it seems as if the possibility of a really good grounded match is one that is available to you. And if you should wish to just get grounded enough, just before your season, where no one's going to hold you down, just get grounded enough to set everything out here on this plane before you fly off somewhere else. Set it all up, man. Take your time with it if you need to. No one's going anywhere. There's a real potential for love. And the kind of grounded love that sticks around for a while. Be assertive. Be quite honest. Be quite true. Drop whatever has not been serving you, honey pie. Just drop it. Information, invitations, love has the potential to be really good. You will feel the shift, Gemini. And when you feel the shift, know that you are blessed in terms of finances. Know that the emotional well-being is only as good as you let it be. So if you need to take a bit of time out to just go and find what is good again, do that. The minute you fill the cups, something comes full circle, the penny drops. It was always just about you. You don't need to put on a face. You don't need to fake it. You don't need to play games. You don't need the pretense. What you need is honest communication. What you need is to communicate what your heart truly wants. What you need is to just slow down for a second. Build that foundation up enough so that the minute you decide to fly off in your next direction, you got something to come back to. You got someone who's waiting for you. You got someone who loves you very much. Someone who loves you very much, Gemini. Melt that heart a little bit. Drop the facade, take off the mask. Just stop with all the extras. You don't need any of that. Someone loves you very much, and it's in regards to a home. A setup, a home, an established home setup. Is where the home is where the heart is. That's what this video is going to be called. Home is very truly where the heart is. On the 22nd, it's your new moon. If you want to manifest love, I would say to you, Gemini, keep rose quartz very close at hand in May. Throughout this Gemini Venus retrograde up until the 25th of June, keep rose quartz like your best friend in your pocket, around your waist, around your neck, around your everywhere. Put it on your head, for God's sakes, if you need to. That's so good. Are you not done yet looking away from this thing? Being burdened? Be done with this. Wrap it up. Things want to change the minute you let them. If you enjoyed the reading, do give it a thumbs up. All donations to the channel are greatly appreciated. You will find all details of where to do so in the description box. Thank you so much for joining. I love you guys. Take care.